So you all, I am back, and I'm so sorry that I had that little interruption. It's like soon as I start reading the word, somebody started to cut their grass. I'm like, wow, the interruptions. So we're gonna get back to where I was, and I was reading First Peter chapter 4, and I was going to just read the whole chapter Peter 4. Okay. So let's get started. Living for God is the topic on this in this Bible. It says living for God. Therefore, since Christ suffered in his body, arm yourselves also with the same attitude, because he who has suffered in his body is done with sin. As a result, he does not live the rest of his life, his earthly life, for evil human desires, but rather for the will of God. For spent you have spent enough time in the past doing what pagans choose to do, living in this debauchery, lust, drunkenness, orgies, carousing, and detestable idolatry. They think it's strange that you do not plunge with them into the same flood of dissipation, and they heap abuse on you. But you will have but you will have to give account. I'm sorry. But they will have to give account to him who is ready to judge the living and the dead. For this is the reason for this is the reason gospel was preached even to those who are now dead, so that they might be judged according to men in regard to the body, but live according to God in regard to the spirit. The end of all things is near. Therefore be clear-minded and self-controlled, so that you can pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each one should use whatever gifts he has received to serve others, faithfully administrating God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, he should do it as one speaking the very words of God. If anyone serves, he should do it with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever. Amen. So I'm so glad about this lesson today, living for God, y'all. It's time for you to live for God. It's time for you to give your all to God. It's time for you to come to God, get on your knees, seek God's face, and turn from your wicked ways. It's time. It's time. It's time. In this day and season that we are in, it is really time. It's really time for you to turn from your wicked ways and serve God truly, completely, totally, surrendering everything to him. Okay? Y'all, it's just time. It's time. And so in this lesson is really, really good, just talking about to love people. We need to love on each other, not hate on each other. So much hate going on in this world. We have people hating on black people, well, white people hating on black people for no reasons, just because of the color of their skin, which is not right. God did not tell us to hate. He wants us to love, as it said in this word. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sin. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each one should use every gift he should receive to serve each other faithfully, administering God's grace in the various forms. What would this world look like if everybody served God? It would be awesome, amazing, magnificent. It would be, oh my God. I just think about that sometimes. If everybody loved God and served God and lived for God, what a world we would be in, y'all. It would be kind of strange, like really, like everybody love God, you know. But we as Christians, we have to encourage people, and we have to be examples to people, you know. We have to be the examples. Say that again, because we can't let our anger take over us. Of course, we are human, but we cannot let our anger take over us to get us to sin, okay? Because we are living for God. And if we're living for Him, we have to be His vessels, His chosen. We are His chosen ones. We have to be His vessels. We have to live the right life, especially before people, because if we're not living that life, our life tells it all. Our lives tell the story. Okay, we can say what we are, but our lives tell the story. I can't tell you that I'm a Christian and I'm out here drinking and I'm out here smoking with everybody else. I can't tell you that, because what would that look like? It wouldn't look like I'm a Christian. It would look like I'm one of them. So He said, come out from among those that are doing the things that we don't do. So, and then it says the end of all things are near. Do y'all see all of this stuff going on around us? It says, therefore be clear-minded and self-controlled. So we have to keep this mind clear, sober of things that is not of God. We must keep our mind on the things of God and the things of above. So, and it says, if anyone speaks, he should do it as one speaking the very words of God. If anyone serves, he should do it with the strength that God provides, so that in all things God may be praised. God may be praised through Jesus Christ. So everything we do, we must do it to the glory of God. Okay, we cannot speak. We need the Spirit really to come in to speak through us and let us be able to speak. So everything that we do, it must be done unto the glory of God. Okay, so yeah, so we must not do anything of our own self. Did I finish reading that? I did not, y'all. I did not finish reading this whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish reading this. It says, but rejoice that you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed with His glorious, with His glory is revealed, when His glory is revealed. If you are insulted because of the name of Christ, you are blessed, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests on you. If you suffer, it should not be as a murderer or thief or any other kind of criminal, or even as a muddler. However, if you suffer as a Christian, do not be ashamed, but praise God that you bear that name. For it is time for judgment to begin with the family of God. And if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who do not obey the gospel of God? Wow. And if it is hard for the righteous to be saved, what will become of the ungodly and the sinner? Oh my. So then, those who suffer according to God's will should commit themselves to their faithful Creator and continue to do good. Wow, wow, wow. This has said a whole lot. So we suffer for God. We reign with God. So we suffer for God, and we should not be weary in well doing. That is just what this is saying. Do not be weary in well doing. For in due season you shall reap if you faint not. So let's not faint, saints out there. Let's do the will of God. Let's continue in His will. Let's continue seeking His face. Let's continue praying. Let's continue giving our all to Him, totally, completely, surrendering everything to Him, living for Him totally. Okay? In this time, in this day, in this season, it's time to really get on the bandwagon and don't play church. It's not, no, this is not the time to be playing church. So it says, So, however, if you suffer as a Christian, do not be ashamed, but praise God that you bear that name. Oh, now that right there is absolutely amazing. Just to be able to say I'm a Christian, not just to say it, but to really live that thing, to really have that in you. Some mornings I wake up with joy, and it's like, I just feel so good, just basking in the joy of God, because it's like, God, I feel your protection. I know that you are protecting me. And I know that he's protecting my children. There's so much going on. And I tell my daughter, I don't want you coming in late. I don't want, I know you grown. I know all of these things, but I still want to protect you because you're in my home. And that's how us parents are. We still want to protect our children. Even if they're not in our home, we're still praying for them. We're still lifting up Jesus and talking to God like, Lord, save them. Let them not fall for the things of this world, okay? Because I tell my children, if I would have continued out there doing things that, and I didn't do a whole bunch of things, y'all. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't party, I didn't do all of those things. But when I was a teenager, I did go to parties, of course, but I did not drink, I did not smoke, I did not do those things. But I'm just saying, I cursed, I did all of that. I really was a bad cursor, y'all. It was crazy. And I didn't like myself for that. I really didn't. And I had a bad attitude, one that I told my husband, if I still had that attitude today, we would not be married today. But I asked God to take it away. And I was a teenager when I asked God to take that away because I didn't like my own attitude. Now that's something when you don't like your own attitude. And God did just that, took that attitude away, wouldn't been able to keep various jobs because of that attitude, y'all. So, and I remember my teacher saying one day, if you don't let go of that attitude, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it in life. You're not going to be able to keep a job. Y'all, that's how bad it was. So I thank God for softening me, my heart, just making me different. You want to change your life. You want to, so you can be better, especially for your children, So yeah, so that is what I wanted to come to you today with. And I'm going to read this last part and we're going to be done. It says, so then those who suffer according to God's will should commit themselves to their faith, Creator, and continue to do good. And just what I said, saints, we have to continue to do good and stay in the will of God. Live for Him totally. So now I am going to go and I want to read this book to you guys. It's another book that I picked up that I'm so happy about. I'll be right back.